There are two points I wanted to make. One was based on what Vijay was saying, and the other one was based on what Mr. Godino was saying. As well as a financial viability study before appointing a third party, a private entity to come into the airport project. Now here's the funny part. Why would you do a financial viability or technical viability after the appointing or during the appointment of the financial consultant? Shouldn't that not be before the appointment of the financial consultant, and on the basis of that you decide on whether you want to go ahead with the project? It's like putting the cart before the horse in this kind of a situation. Does that mean that the government is sure that the report that they will get on, or the study that they will get, is financially going to be viable? How can you do that? How do you suppose that? That's point number one. Point number two is something that you all need to know on what is happening in the real estate area around Mopa. There is a very big project coming up at the Mopa area. Okay, it is a large golf project. I'm not going to name the people of those projects, but here's an interesting fact about that project which nobody knows, and we have exposed this before. 342 acres of that project is in Goa. 151 acres of that project is in Maharashtra. And the entire project is connected from both sides. So a person just has to drive into that project and he goes into Goa and Maharashtra depending on what facility of that project he wants to use. Number three, one more very important point. Not known to many people is that in and around the Mopa area, in the MOEF plan, it is clearly stated over there that they will set up what is called as an aviation city. Airport aviation city, one of these two things, which goes again to keep aside over 500 to 1,000 acres of land for this airport city. So really, what are we talking about? Is it really about aviation, or is it about real estate?
Okay, before we end, I'd just like to sum up with a note of sobriety. I know passions have flown, allegations based on facts have been leveled thick and fast, repartees have been given, and so on and so forth. And I think before we end, I think let us at least conclude on one note. The fact that two airports cannot happen in the manner that is envisaged to happen is emerging clearer and clearer. Even if the second airport is needed, let us seriously look at whether Mopa is the best option possible, or is there a need to look for another alternative if two airports are absolutely without doubt necessary, which itself is a premise which is not tenable at this point of time. Secondly, let us be transparent to the people of Goa. Irrespective of whatever happens, let us ensure that people whose lands are being taken away are given fair treatment. Let us ensure that individuals with powerful interests are not benefited over and above people who are powerless. And most importantly, let us have a proper public debate and get the people of Goa into complete confidence before kind of bulldozing or taking any act which is going to be detrimental ultimately to the people of Goa. Since Mr. Godino has unfortunately been the brunt of several allegations, attacks, and what have you, in all fairness, I'd like him to say a few words, just as a matter of explanation if he wants.
It looks like that I am going to build the Mopa airport and I am going to be the owner. I am really surprised, but I am happy. No, but I am happy. People are somehow missing another point. My learned friends who were here in the panel just before me will agree. Actually, if you clearly go into what ICAO report says, that the best option would be having one airport. What they have in mind while recommending is kill Dabolim and have only Mopa. That is the intention. You all must realize that.
Absolutely.
And when I speak for Goa and Goans. I speak with conviction, because I know if at all Dabolim will be closed, it can happen only over my dead body, because I am the MLA. Remember that. I have my full commitment towards that. not only because I am from South Goa, I think about entire Goa. That airport is central to the people of Goa. It has served us right from the beginning. It's only that we have a, I should say, a presence of the Indian Navy which is detrimental to civilian flying. And that is a fact to be accepted. Now, having said that, central government would not have been spending something like 360 crores today and totally about 500 crores. Thereafter, some flyovers also are planned. Entire investment is going to be more than 650 crores. If they are going to close that airport in the future, this thing would not have happened. Now, only problem is because this present government seems to be in a tearing hurry to proceed with Mopa, which should not have happened. Mopa is perhaps a requirement for the future. You and I cannot exactly, with whatever expert opinion, also envisage what will happen 25 years hence or 20 years hence, how much will be the growth in air traffic. If we have acquired land and kept it for a second airport and it is going to be in Goa, it is a very good proposition. You must realize that. In fact, what people say in future, just like you had a Bajaj scooter at one time, it was a prized possession. You will have like a scooter, small machines which you just press a button, you go up and you have a certain airway, you will be traveling by air because there will be so much of congestion along the waters and particularly the roads that this scenario will come. So you will need so many more airports. So one cannot think entirely only because the government seems to be in a tearing hurry, or it looks like that people are agitated. And we must realize one thing. In the entire exercise, we are very emotional people. Don't pity one against another. Mopa also is in Goa, toi Goenkar, oi Goenkar. If you have given favoritism to Bernard Costa, given him back his land, give adequate compensation if that is required for the future. Because with new laws coming, like the new Land Acquisition Act of the central government, it will be next to impossible even to acquire land for very genuine purposes in the future. And if you go as per the market value, no airport will survive, nobody will put any airport. Even I am telling you lastly another thing, whatever may be the bulldozing or pushing forward by the present government, ultimately money is the thing. Neither local government has money to put for the Mopa airport. Even if it says land is the equity, neither central government or airport authority has the money. They will bear with me, the experts here, and neither no private person will come of a return that will not come in the next 7 years. Nobody is going to wait for 20, 30 years. So Mopa is yet to come. It is yet to become a true reality that Mopa is coming. There is lot of time. So let us not agitate our mind. More important, I want to conclude here, is the special category status which is required under Article 371. Where selling of land should be banned, where Khazan land you cannot develop, forest land you cannot develop, the other agricultural land cannot be converted, you don't have more gated colonies. This is what is the requirement. Only if you give us a status under Article 371, this can happen. Secondly, mining has stopped. It will stop for the next 2 seasons. Whatever one may say, I will start in 3 months, 6 months. As against this reality, you need to work an alternate economic model for Goa, for its sustainability, for its people, to create economic activity. So it has to be really different thinking. It has to be a wizard thinking. We have to get the experts. What can propel Goa? By at the same time having sustainable development, protecting the interests of the Goa. Goa is the only state where our birth rate is declining, but our population is increasing. Why? Migrants are increasing, and migrants, we are not against migrants of the low order. So if this happens, we are a minority in our own land. That's why we need more than anything else special category status. Let us not agitate our mind over airports, which is not going to be a reality soon. Let us agitate more over getting special category status for us. This is what is required for our Goa.
I think Vijay wanted to say something.
Thank you very much. I'll just give it to Vijay. Just one very quick point. I just hope and I really wish that during the recently concluded assembly session, both Mr. Godino, Mr. Reginald and others had vociferously stood up and protested against this government's land acquisition spree in Mopa with the same degree of intensity that they are displaying here. Because the assembly was a good enough forum to do that. I wish it was done.
At the onset, I disagree with Sujay that we did not put it up properly, that we did not oppose the land acquisition properly. Fact is that we did not get an opportunity. Now opportunity is a very wide term. I don't want to commit breach of privilege by talking about what happened in the assembly. Let me stretch my mind a little bit on what Movin said. One is, he said that Dabolim will stop or close only over his dead body. All of us think well of him. We do not want to see his dead body. But the fact remains that civil aviation experts concur with the idea, and Movin himself in his deposition says that within 7 years the land, the investment has to be fructified, in which case Dabolim will have to close down if Mopa comes up. That is a reality, and we want Movin in good health in the next 7 years, so we do not want him to stretch it that far and become emotional. Number one. Number two, he says that we are in a tearing hurry. The government is in a tearing hurry. I would have been happy if he had said the same thing in the House when we demanded an in-depth study and a precondition of a highway to be done, which ECAO says that there should be a highway before you start thinking about Mopa. Precondition. If Movin was to concur or agree with us there in the House. See, one minute, I'm speaking. This is not the House. You speak after. No. So, if he was to agree with us, there, it would have been nice, because we would have avoided this debate. It would have been settled in the House itself. Third thing is, he talked about an alternate model. And when we talk about an alternate model, I certainly believe that whilst thinking or conceptualizing an alternate model, we should not kill the existing model. What the present government wants to do is they want to kill the tourism economy of the state, which is centered around South Goa, which is around the coastline of South Goa. They want to kill South Goa so as to make Mopa grow. And who grows in Mopa? The real estate sharks who have bought the land there. Who grows in Mopa are the beaches of Sindhudurg, not Goans. And to kill Goans, this Mopa has been thought of, and it would have been better if we had opposed Mopa wholly.
What I want to say, yes, and when Mopa comes up, remember one thing, people are talking, how will people travel there? How will people go there? Listen, for Goa also, one thing you must remember, I am looking at Mopa at a long-term reality, but along with this long-term reality, I am looking at one thing. It is whether the chicken came first or the egg came first. If Mopa comes, your sky rail, your broad highways or something like that has to come for transportation, mass transportation and quick transportation. It will automatically become a reality. We must realize
this
that.
This debate will go on and on and on, and I'm sure we can talk till the cows come home. But before we do that, Ajay, just 30 seconds.
Recently, there was this civil aviation team which had come down to actually decide the fate of Mopa Airport. They came down, they were taken to the middle of the plateau over there, and they were shown the barren land. What they were not shown was the green slopes which are all around Mopa, which is it's got something like almost 165 odd species of flowers, birds, whatever. The thing is, what is happening is, I think most of you people are just reading about Mopa on the newspapers. Please, again I'll repeat, because this is coming from a person who has been traveling. In fact, my senior, he has also been traveling, and I can say with pride that the Goan has been traveling more over there. And I can tell you something, over there are people who are relying only on that land. That is farmland. That is not a barren land. And this is one place where I beg to differ from whatever the report had said. And there's forest over there, there is plantations over there. All those things are going. Government over there is a criminal. Why? Because they are cutting trees and they are marking areas over there, which is not done. That's criminal. You have seen pictures on the Goan. You want, I'll send you across 200 of those, where people's right in the heart of their lands, they have put in those marking areas. Those things will go off tomorrow. You might be sitting in your comfort over here and doing a debate over here, but let me tell you something. If you really want to go and see the truth is out there, and that has to be protected. If you are a proud Goekar, do it.
I would like to thank our esteemed guests, and especially the experts who came all the way from Delhi and Bangalore. Thank our media partners, Prudent and the Goan. And most of all, I thank you all people for having a good time. Thank you, and God bless you all. Bye.